Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is a busy morning, so to speak. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. It's only 7:15 here on the West Coast, where we had an earthquake last night. Okay, yeah. So I'm a little shaky this morning. But there's so much stuff that's going on, and I get so many different clips and things from practice, not the game, but we'll have the scrimmage tomorrow. That will be great. Hopefully we'll see Dan Salio and stuff. And the Cowboys are now in the process of bringing in more guys, reinforcements and things, to bluster the roster between now and say the 27th, which is when the big cut downs happen. They're going to be bringing in players. What they'll do is they'll look around and start figuring out who is going to be able to step up and really take a role, and other places where they say we need some more bodies and things. For me, I've been saying the places that worry me the most, of course, is is Diggs going to be ready to start the season, and B, on the defensive line. The defensive line room seems to be a little bit shallow. Now, we did sign a linebacker yesterday, of course, to help that. And I'm kind of looking at this, and it's like we went from no linebackers by the end of the season last year to now having a plethora of linebackers that are here in the mix. So that's good that we can definitely pick and bring the best ones on there. The defensive line to me is more important than anything else, because for me, the way I look at a defensive lineman, an interior defensive lineman, is that's the biggest bang you can get for your buck. If you have an outstanding interior defensive lineman, it literally helps all three levels. You don't necessarily get that. You could have one great shutdown corner, but if you have two other guys that are not, they're just going to go away from you. But a great interior defensive lineman is going to do a couple of things. If he can take on the double team, that means he's taking two guys. That means somebody on that defense is free, preferably your linebackers, that they're able to roam and do their job. So a great interior defensive lineman play, or great defensive interior play, makes the defense better from the standpoint excuse me, from the standpoint of the defense of the linebackers being free. The second thing it does, if you have a great interior defensive lineman who can hold the middle or penetrate a yard or two on passing, that means the quarterback can't step up, which now makes your defensive ends more effective, because the quarterback can't step up past the wash. He's literally in the middle of, fire. So that helps, of course, the edge rushers. And if you're helping the edge rushers, this is like the neck bone's connected to the tailbone and this, that, and the other, or however it goes. If you are helping the defensive ends get more pressure on the quarterback and making him uncomfortable, making him forced to throw the ball quicker or throw a bad play, or even get your paw up there and tip the pass, then you are helping the secondary, because now they're not having to chase a guy for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. He has a limited opportunity, which shortens also the field. And when you shorten the field, that makes it a lot easier to play. And that's one of the things that's lost in the defense. You can have a great edge rusher like Micah is, but because they can't hold the rest of the interior line, they can double team Micah. You get the interior defensive lineman there that can hold the line, you can't double him and Micah too, and that helps everybody across there. Now, I will say my observations of Mozzie is, I can't say he's going to be incredible or he's going to be, Aaron Donald or anything like that. But what I can say is he has changed his body. He is in a transition to be different than what he was in college. He's literally about 20 pounds lighter. His body is more muscular. He's moving well, and he's learning how to use the power that he has, that it is teaching him. And I will say, that guy is staying in the coach's back pocket. That guy is there out on the practice field with the punters. putting in work to be the best player he can be. But he's not the only one out there that's doing it. All the guys are, well, nobody else is out on the field with him other than the punters, half an hour before practice. And I am really, really high on him. But the Cowboys have also added a little bit of experience here. They've added Albert Huggins, who's been basically a journeyman defensive lineman. He's been in the league for 4 years. He's actually, believe it or not, been with Philadelphia, where he played in 4 games, getting 3 combined tackles. He was also with the Detroit Lions in 2020, where he played in 1 game, no tackles or anything. And he was with the New Orleans Saints. Played 9 games, 16 tackles, 3 solos. And then last year with Atlanta, he actually started. This is the first chance that he actually started. He only started 1 game in New Orleans, none with Detroit or Philadelphia. He started for Atlanta for 5 games towards the tail end of the season, having his most effective one with 22 combined tackles, 7 solos. And that's when he was the most effective and still learning. He's still relatively young. He's 6'3", about 305 pounds. And the thing is, because people will look at the numbers and say, well, he only had 22 tackles. That's nothing. You have to understand that interior, he's like a one technique guy. Your job is not to get glory. It's just not. Your job is to clog up the middle. Your job is to be basically the guy that's going to take all the abuse. You're the shit taker. You got to take on the double teams and be able to hold the ground. You got to push the pocket. You're going to get stepped on. You're going to get hit from every single angle. And if you get a tackle, great. But that's not priority number 1. Your priority is hold that line, hold the offensive guards from going up to the linebackers, and keeping the interior holes plugged. And that's it. And so the numbers don't come around with that. It just doesn't. You're not going to be a fantasy football standout. It's a thankless job. And most interior defensive linemen, nobody knows their name. So we'll see how he works into the situation. For me, I like a lot of big bodies in the middle, and you can never have enough. And hopefully we can find a rotation of guys, of big guys, that Mozzie becomes that wrecking ball, that he's basically more of a 3 technique, and they're using him with a slight tilt towards the gap, towards the A gap and things, where he is controlling the center, the guard, and hopefully wreaking havoc. And I'm seeing a good push with him. So hopefully, Albert Huggins, welcome to Cowboys camp, and hope to see you out there tomorrow in practice. All right, good people, we are heading on out, heading to Pinks. I'm heading on out to Pinks. All right, good people, I'll see y'all soon. Peace.